In 1949, 4 black men were falsely accused of raping a young white woman in Groveland, Florida. Within days, a mob, led by the local sheriff, killed one of the young men. The 3 others were tried, found guilty, and 2 were sentenced to execution. After the Supreme Court overturned their death penalties, both men were shot, one fatally by the same sheriff as he drove them from prison for a hearing. Gilbert King learned the bits of this story while researching his first book, The Execution of Willie Francis. He eventually uncovered a horrific narrative of brutality within a white supremacist legal system and the courageous lawyers who stood up to it. In 2012, Devil in the Grove, Thurgood Marshall, The Groveland Boys, and the Dawn of a New America was published, and it earned Gilbert King the Pulitzer Prize for General Nonfiction. 6 years later, surrounded by the men's family members, Florida's governor posthumously pardoned the 4 men.
Gilbert King's book, Devil in the Grove, was a life-changing experience for me, and it's been a life-changing experience for many members of the judiciary. We have read this book as judges and understand the importance of our role in the criminal justice system. It has become required reading for all Florida judges. And everywhere I go, when I talk to judges who've read this book, it has given them pause to understand their role in the justice system.
Gilbert has since published a 3rd book about race and injustice in 20th century Florida. Beneath a Ruthless Sun was named a Best Book of the Year by the Washington Post, and Gilbert has become a sought-after speaker, sharing history to inform issues that continue to plague the nation. It's not the future he envisioned growing up in suburban Schenectady, New York, the son of the late Gilbert Sr. and Dorothy King. He just wanted to play baseball.
Well, Gilbert came down to Florida, to University of South Florida in the early 70s to play baseball. He hoped to be the second baseman on the Bulls baseball team. But after a while, it became clear that maybe baseball wasn't his strongest suit. He was not going to be a starter, maybe not even make the team. He was disappointed, but he fell in love with the area and he wanted to stay at USF, and he actually wandered over to the library. He had never been much of a reader, I think, before, but he discovered books.
Gilbert set his sights on mass communications, but failed the typing test, so he majored in English. He honed his storytelling skills, writing for USF's student newspaper, The Oracle, and working as a stand-up comic for the Funny Farm comedy troupe.
So in 1985, Gilbert was about to graduate. He was just 2 credits short of credits he needed to graduate. When he got an offer to go up to New York, he was sort of enticed up there, had a cheap place to live and a potential for a good job. And so he left without graduating. Just 2 credits to go.
Freelance writing and editing jobs led to an interest in photography. Gilbert's self-taught skills landed his work in national magazines, including Vogue and Glamour. He was shooting coffee table books and ghostwriting for celebrities when an editor urged him to come up with his own book idea.
Gilbert's book, The Execution of Willie Francis, was not selling well. I'm sure at that time Gilbert was concerned about where he was going with his writing career. Devil in the Grove also was not selling well. And again, I'm sure that Gilbert was having concerns about his career direction. But wonderfully enough, Devil in the Grove won a Pulitzer Prize.
Gilbert, who in 2014 finally picked up his USF degree, an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters, lives in New York City. He and his wife Lorna have 2 daughters, Madeline and Olivia. In September, he began a prestigious Cullman Center Fellowship at the New York Public Library, where he's working on a book about African-American soldiers returning to the United States following World War II. He doesn't take credit for the Groveland 4 pardons, preferring to celebrate the lawyers and activists, past and present, who fight for justice. He just tries to tell the stories, he says, the truth about our past. Please join us in congratulating 2019 USF Distinguished Alumnus, Gilbert King.